Cora, talk to me about, what was like playing against Regis. You kind of mentioned about the failure of the Megathune Warlock, but, all things considering, what was it like playing with some of the cards?
No, it was super fun. I knew going into it that my Warrior deck was really good. I just opened, obviously Dr. Boomad Genius is really, really awesome. It was cool to get to play with him and experience some of his new hero powers. And I knew there was literally no chance that my Warlock could beat his Mage. We were sharing decks before. We're friendly. It's not a rough and tumble competition. So I had an idea of what he brought, and I knew it was very aggressive. And that Warlock deck, just about 10 minutes before we were done building decks, I'm like, this is a horrible idea, and this is going to go terribly wrong. And it kind of did. So, oh well, I had fun with it. All
right. Well, the good news is that you get to stay in your element, and you get to cast with us.
I'm going to go back to where I can't technically lose, but. Yes.
Again, I reiterate the point before. Shaman did you see the series between Killen and Antony?
I did see some of it, yeah.
And, I'm looking at some of these Shaman cards that summons these little rushers, and I think they're really powerful. And I feel like Shaman might be a class that's sneaking under the radar. People are raving about Druid and all these crazy combos, or, maybe like Warrior and all the cards that they get with Warlock's, of course, going to be good, but I think Shaman's going to be sick.
I'm very excited to play Shaman again. We haven't had a really, truly aggressive Shaman in a long time. Like, even Shaman is fairly aggressive, but not a bloodlust oriented, token style of Shaman.
Doomhammer
exactly.
Level of aggressive, right.
You still can.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah. Thank you for humoring me. Yes, you can play it. And we will just stop it there. Killen gets the Osrook. It's a random random elemental you get, but it is a legendary elemental. Regis's Paladin decks, he seems to, it seems like the Paladin legendary spell has the quest effect. It starts in your opening hand every game.
Yeah,
that's what Regis had.
Like it.
He had it every game. He even had it the game that he didn't beat you with. He chose to play wider board and then got the War Gear.
I never drew the Solarium.
Oh, you had the Solarium?
I had that, yeah. That's why I chose to play the Warlock deck. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go demon-oriented, and in the first game I drew no demons, and in the second game I died real fast.
And then the Mechathune, you can discard your hand, so you can play Mechathune and then Solarium, and then discard your hand.
Yeah, sort of. I knew Mechathune was never getting played. If it was getting played, it was a 10-mana 10-10. It wasn't going to win me any games, but I said, I couldn't not put him in the deck.
That works out kind of nicely here.
Yeah, this card, Spring Rocket, just in general, when we see like these tempo cards that can deal damage and impact the board, SI7 Ancient, Fire Plume Phoenix, Fire Elemental, they have huge impacts and implications. The fact that it's really cheap too is really nice. It's not like a 5-mana deal 3 that's kind of clunky to fit, but this could be an also unsung hero of a lot of mech decks.
Yeah, it's Disciple of Cthulhu, but it has the mech tag instead.
Oh, yeah, Disciple of Cthulhu, another one too.
I miss Cthulhu decks.
You can play them again.
Yeah, good news, guys. There's Mecha Cthulhu.
Yeah, if you enjoyed losing with Cthulhu before. That being said, I look forward to the first person that can actually, if there's anybody that can do it, I feel like Dog's going to do it on day one. Play some god-awful Mechathune deck on paper, but somehow get to the top.
Number one
legend.
Like,
and he'll be like, this deck is so bad, guys. Don't craft it. And then it ends up being like
Dog
the
can
combo deck
do anything, so.
If Killen's intention was to win the board, he ended up making it a little bit wider. Oh gosh.
Well, small bright side, he's watering down the mech pool for Kangor.
It's true. That is true.
But we're still a couple turns away. The one weakness that I did really note for this deck from Regis is he doesn't draw any cards, so he can run out of resources pretty quickly. So if Killen can get the board, Regis could really struggle to come back from that.
Yes, and he does have wide board potential, like you said, but I mean, if they're all one-attack minions, this Bronzy is going to clean up.
This Explodinator.
Yeah.
You did me dirty.
Yeah, that card is really good.
Not so good when it's its full cost, but when you can discount it with that 2-mana mech, that's fantastic.
I mean, even for its full cost, it summons a wide board, which a lot of classes can utilize. Shaman, Paladin are easy ones to think about, but you also see how Druid has Savage Roar. You know, you have so many ways you can synergize with it. So, you know, I mean, these mech decks that go really wide with this plus the Giggling Inventor, I think it's going to do a lot of work.
And honestly, we didn't have many options to build with this format because we had to use just basic cards and our Boomsday packs. So everything was going to be fairly mech-oriented.
Yes.
But even in the grand scheme of things, with all of the other expansions in the mix, this seems very powerful.
Agreed.
I thought it was really cool to see the sealed format with you guys.
It was a lot of fun. It was stressful. It was really stressful. It was harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah. You didn't have too much time, really, either.
Yeah.
So you gotta...
It's like, 60 minutes? That's plenty.
Wow. Regis keeps getting the war gear when he's like,
yeah.
You know what, I'm running out of cards, like what do I do? Like I need to draw something big here, because the Endless Army is okay, but it's like you said, Corey, he has so many small mechs in the pool that it risks summoning low impact cards.
Definitely needs to make some space in order to play him.
The battle.
Which one?
Yeah, I mean, generally you want to make sure that you can maintain the board, so the weakest minion you can buff, that seems to be a general rule that people are agreeing upon. Killen needs to pick up his Hex or some way to remove that 6/7.
Regis is looking pretty happy with himself. He's feeling in control of the game.
Face is the place.
Oh man, if Killen had one more mana with, like, he could have Flame Tongue with the Spark and the War Gear, and now that puts you back in business. Unfortunately, it does not.
You can utilize the Flame Tongue Totem to get rid of a little bit here, but not enough.
Well, if he attaches War Gear to one of the bombs, it becomes a 5/7, and then Flame Tongue makes it a 7/7. So the trades into the 6/7 is very clean.
Then the 0/2 goes into the 3/2.
And then it's a reasonable board state at that point. Until, well, the Endless Army summons back the upgradable frame bot.
Yeah, one of the big issues with this format is there's not a lot of removal. So it can be difficult if you want to play anything other than a momentum-based deck. It's really hard to come back. 8 damage on board for Regis.
Yeah, Regis picks up another magnetic minion, so if he wants to get greedy, he can add another magnetized mech to the pool. But at the same time, you know, you kind of want to close out the game. So things like the Endless Army seem to be in a really good position in this spot.
Question is do you answer that Flame Tongue Totem to kind of get rid of some of the value for killing all day?
Well, you can't cleanly. You have to give up 6 damage.
You'd have to give up 6 damage, exactly.
With 4 more guaranteed.
That bomb has Rush.
Oh, you're right. So that actually does give you a clean snipe on the Flame Tongue Totem.
All things considered, he got some pretty good resurrects there. Oh, he's going full face.
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 damage with the bots, the bombs, excuse me. So the bombs guarantee 2 damage to the face each, which means Regis has lethal if he's died.
Just win.
He made the correct trade on the bomb on the right side.
I'm trying to look see if there's a way for Killen to get out of this position, but he can't even address the board. So, like, you know, as much as Regis is setting up for, like, the worst case scenario in case he loses everything, Killen can't even deal with half of it.
You'd have to answer the entire board and not kill these bots here. It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, he needed, like, Taunt Totem. And he needed Taunt Totem to have the mech tag so that he could War Gear it up.
Oh, Giggling Inventor. We didn't even see that at all from Regis in the last series, but he's going to go up 1-0 here.
Yes, and Regis is going to punch his way to a victory. That Paladin deck being able to redeem itself and overall have a winning record, and now he's 1 game away from fulfilling the prophecy that, you know,
his mage deck
the
is
YouTuber.
spicy.
Well, okay, I was just saying like how YouTubers tend to beat the competitive players in these exhibition show matches.
I said, don't underestimate him.
That's
right. It's not necessarily the pro player's forte, that's for sure. Coming in and having to play in a limited scale and having a limited amount of time to be able to build your decks, it's tough.
Right. It's tough, and it's also limiting. I mean, you have to work with the cards you open. You know, again, people for joining us halfway through. They opened 130 packs, and they have to use those cards. They can't disenchant all their extra rares epics or even legendaries that they have and use it to craft other cards, they have to use whatever they open plus the basic set, which sets a pretty rigid restriction on what they can actually create.
If I could have disenchanted Golden Mechathune and made anything that I wanted.
Literally any other card in the game.
Literally any other card in the game.
Like Millhouse Manastorm you would have made.
Yeah, I played him.
Yeah.
I almost was going to play Shutterwalk.
What do you think will have a higher win rate when played, Mechathune or Millhouse Manastorm?
Oh,
I
believe in
think
Mechathune.
People have to find a way to make Mechathune work.
Yeah.
You can't have such an iconic character back in the game with such a difficult to accomplish effect and like not have it be feasible. Like it just has to be possible.
That's true. There was a brief period of time where the Paladin Death Knight, Uther of the Ebon Blade,
Yes.
was viable because of some crazy combos you can do with Auction Master Beardo. So you're right. Maybe some of these conditions that are hard to reach that win the game outright can also be viable.
Yes, definitely.
That's right.
I have hope.
Did I ask you already if there's a class that you almost played but you didn't?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I was going to play Hunter.
Okay.
I was going to play Hunter.
Did you
with,
open up anything cool for Hunter
I
specifically?
had both Hunter legendaries, actually.
What?
So you
Yeah.
had Flark, and then you had the spell which pulls minions from your deck and gives it rush.
Yes, but then they die at the end of the turn. That was the issue. There's so much Death Rattle synergy with Hunter, but I didn't have good Death Rattle minions. There's not
Right.
good Death Rattle minions in this set. You want to use like the eggs, but those are obviously not from this set. So
Right.
it's I had all of the pieces, and I just didn't have the initiating tools.
Right. You had the
Fair enough.
finishers.
Yeah.
You just didn't have, the building blocks that get to that point.
Exactly.
Right, that's right. Well, that's a little bit sad because I think the basic set also doesn't really have many death rattles or any at all. I think all the death rattles are in the classic cards. Like you look at Loot Hoarder or Harvest Golem, all of them are like cards you open. So,
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Hunter because, we've really seen the Death Rattle Hunter deck become fantastic in the last, month or so, and it kind of was under the radar for quite some time. And so now that it's getting all these new tools, I don't know if people throw some mechs in there as well, but it seems like it's going to be pretty strong.
I definitely think it's going to get mechs. There's that 2-mana, 2/1, give a mech +1/+1. If it has Death Rattle, trigger the Death Rattle.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I promise I'll learn that card by playoff.
I have no idea what its name is, but I almost played it.
I just call it, the Rock Pool Hunter for mechs or like Mech Pool Hunter.
There you go.
Yes, all really powerful cards. I love Spider Bomb. I love the Venomizer. All really good early mechs. Looks like our scientists are ready to see the grand finale here of the tournament. But of course, it won't be the final of the pre-release event. We'll be having a show match afterwards, so stay tuned for that. And it's going to be Killing All Day, staying on the Shaman, trying to see if we can get this Stormbringer action going. And look at Regis's hand. I mean, he's building low curve decks to try and get tempo early on the board. He even kind of apologized. He said, sorry to all my fans, because I know that I like to play the slow, weird, convoluted decks, but today I went for the throat. You know what? I can always respect a man who does that.
He's such a liar, Dan. He's such a liar. He came into this saying, you know what, I'm going to make fun decks. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to try. Does this look like fun to you?
The term we use in card games is bluffing, and you got outplayed.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Dan. I believed him. Shame on me.
That's right. You lost before the first card was drawn. And as we
I lost
say,
the mind games.
90% of Hearthstone is determined before you draw your first card. Right?
Nah, he's a super nice guy. He just got some unfortunate packs, we'll say. Or fortunate in this case.
Well, I heard that Regis was bragging that he got a lot of legendaries.
Was he really?
That's what supposedly
That's what someone
happened.
said.
But from the sound of it, it seems like you guys all opened up more than he did.
I got a fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, you opened up 2 legendaries you didn't even use.
You just
Well, I
didn't have
opened
enough
up a lot
time
of
to plan,
legendaries I
yeah.
didn't use, to be fair.
Well, Killen is cheating. He's not allowed to play any cards from us.
Yes, I was just about to say it.
I'm just
It's in
kidding.
fact a Tar Creeper.
I mean, he also played, Calamos, so
Yes,
we're just obviously joking. They're not allowed to play. They're not allowed to put anything in their deck from a different expansion.
Looks like he just wants to tempo out the Stargazer Luna potentially here.
Right, which is in theory okay because there's only a 1 attack minion on board.
Yes. Dangerous if left alive. So it seems like Killing All Day will want to answer it as
Right, but there's no
as he
mechs on the board for Killing All Day.
No, Tark Reaper is an elemental.
Let's see. He does have ways to kill it, though, but I think it's a very big investment on his side. So instead, he's just going to develop minions. And, you know, Regis doesn't have Millhouse Mana Storm plays because Killen has played Hearthstone before. So Regis will, at most, draw one card, it seems like.
To be fair, it was a bad spot. I wasn't going to win anyway.
I believe I actually said exactly that scenario. I said Cora recognizes the right play is that she probably saw that her hand was bad, so she threw in air quotes just to have, you know, fun.
I did not actually expect to get killed that turn. But you know what? It was...
We said
it
you did the
happened.
right thing.
It was something.
We said that you are a player for the people.
Thanks, Dan.
So I think you did just fine. All right, so Killen's got some really good tools here. You know, the Voltaic Burst, and if he can win the board, he eventually has that Stormbringer to turn these goblins into something useful.
Yeah, like Linessa Sun Sorrow.
Yeah, or
Millhouse. Exactly.
Yeah, super useful. At this point, though, the pool of legendaries have actually gotten generally pretty weak in their vanilla stats.
Yes.
That, you know, getting a random legendary seems to be sometimes a detriment, or not a detriment, but like not as impactful as you might think. You might think like Malagos and Ysera from the good old days. Like, you know, Killen got 2 Deathwings. But I also feel like we can get, you know, Thaunos and Linessa Sun Sorrow and, you know, like the new card Myra is like a 4/2. It's like, okay.
You can get
Hey
some
now.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
Don't hate on Myra.
Well, Myra's unstable, and that's cool. But you like Myra the scientist.
Yes, Myra Rotspring.
Yeah.
It was actually Allie's card to reveal.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
You're right. You're right.
She's a fan.
Thanks, Cora.
I got you, Allie. Oh, there's the Giggling Inspector?
Yeah. Inventor?
Inventor?
I think so.
Inventor. There you
And I mean, Killen wants a board of legendaries, and I don't think Regis has Flame Strike. Even if he did, he doesn't have enough mana.
go. He said he does not have it. He considered putting it in the deck, but he decided not.
Core, he also said
Yeah, I know.
that, you know, he's just going to have fun, not going to play serious decks.
He's...
So once again,
I just don't know what to
outsmarted, outplayed.
The Explodinator and the Inventor just do a fantastic job of just getting you some board. You know,
Right.
something you can actually work with.
I feel like this is the expansion of Raid Leader. It's going to be like, you guys thought I was...
It's the year
gosh.
of Raid
You thought I was an
Leader.
imposter. I was only played because, you know, no one else, there's no other good option.
Throw the Giggling Inventor into Odd Paladin and
Yeah.
run wild. Have fun.
Yeah. Zlay was tweeting out that he thinks like Token Druid would be the best deck day one. I'm like, dude, have you forgotten about a Paladin? But yes,
Oh.
Token Druid would be really good.
That was really interesting. So Regis played Ixlid with the Skater Bot and didn't magnetize the Skater Bot, just used it as 1/1 rush so he could get rid of the Divine Shields off of the Inoyotrons.
Wow, very nifty. It's a cool little interaction play. And now, you know, Killen wants to destroy that Ixlid. It's very threatening because one way you can answer a wide board is to create a wide board yourself. But Killen also...
Oh my rod.
Hey, there's that Thalnos that you were talking about.
Zola the Gorgon and Keliseth.
This is a little underwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, Keliseth also.
Face.
Doesn't want to fireball it though. Ooh, with Ixlid still on board, the missile launcher actually should summon
Doubles.
twice, so that's 2 damage AoE at the end of the turn.
Right. But he needs Rawface to die. Otherwise...
I'll take care of that thing.
Yeah.
He can run in the Goblin Bomb, and then Rotface will only spawn 1 legendary.
It's true. And then the Ixlid can bump into the Spearslinger Umbra, and that clears off almost all the board.
He can even summon 2 Faithful Lumis or 2 Goblin Bombs alongside the missile launcher.
The only problem is that he's also destroying his own board too, right? 'Cause
Oh.
He does damage to all of the minions.
No, just Lumi the Goblin Bomb, run into Rotface, and play missile launcher. Yeah?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I forgot about the Lumi.
Yeah.
The Battle
I like
Cry
that.
+1/+1 is really clean here.
I think that's got to be...
It's got to be the play, right?
Yes, I agree. We definitely like to play Missile Launcher. Okay.
He doesn't see it.
He just has different plans.
Okay.
He wants to just summon as wide board as possible.
He's just going
Oh,
face.
he's just going face. When in doubt, go face, you know?
All right. The only issue with that is he just gave up 6 damage from that fireball.
Well, he
Yes.
got 6 damage with the face push instead of trading. But, I mean, I do see the downside of the missile launcher, which is it clears his own board, too. Like, Ixalan dies. His Goblin, I think,
Good point.
would be alive, but just barely, so your opponent can just clear it off. So I think maybe Regis feels like he just favors a wider board. So now it's Shaman's turn to answer it.
The missile launcher is actually a really nice way to activate the Goblin Bombs if you can keep it up for more than one turn or you have a handy Ixalan on the board when you play it.
Is there any death rattles for Killen to get?
I don't think so, unfortunately. Or, well, we might see one.
Yeah, based on what we've seen, it seems everything is Battle Cry or just turn effect. These voltaic sparks or bursts, rather, will be able to answer most of the board.
I mean, Killen's really big power play was that transforming all of his minions into legendaries.
This is really good, too, from Killen, because I was thinking about playing Thunderhead with it just to keep getting sparks and trade on the board. But Killen's utilizing these Annoyatrons to stall and push damage with at least the Trailblazer. Yeah, it's not Deathwing, but it's still game-ending damage if it's done right. And then
It gets the
now,
job done. It gets the job done.
the missile launcher could potentially be a huge factor here. He needs the missile launcher and then Frostbolt to at least. But does he still die?
3, 4, 5 damage?
Oh, wait. It does damage to every other character. So he hits himself.
Oh, he goes to 8.
He goes to 7 because he's some. Oh, no, sorry. Ixalan is not there anymore. So yeah, he goes down to 8. You're right.
But he can magnetize it onto a Goblin Bomb and clear off one of the Annoyatrons.
That's true. One of the Annoyatrons.
This is a single 2-drop that's going to soak up 10 damage.
Oh, I am not looking forward to cleaning up the Annoyatrons. Oh.
I know, right? I'm like, oh, those are actually pretty annoying.
Yep.
Aptly named. The nostalgic side of me is happy to see him again, but ooh.
That was a sweet animation.
Yeah, really cool. It was actually a missile launcher, just like you see it in those old RTS games. Killen has 5 damage on board, a few points off lethal. Can magnetize to improve it by 1, so he's got 6 damage at most.
Don't know if Regis really wants to give Killen all day more cards right now, but he might not have a choice. Unless he's just dead.
Well, I mean, Killen's just going to try to control the state of the board here and push damage, and Regis has to rely on whatever's on top of his deck. Is there a mystery card that we're not aware of yet? Each player draws 2 cards.
Maybe you could draw for it.
Yeah.
I don't think he has Flame Strike in the deck, but if he does, he's going to want it now.
Okay, that helps. So he does that. Frostbolt plus Trey. He's still dead on board. He needs a little bit more. He needs something with Taunt.
And Killen
Oh, wait,
up
he has
that ward
Magnetic
here.
and Rush. Oh, by only, so he's still dead on board by exact damage. Magnetic and the Rush would trade with a minion. And then, or just a Rush minion. You don't need to magnetize in. Oh, this is where a position where you'd rather have separate bodies than just one giant minion.
Yeah. It really is interesting. Sometimes you have to decide whether or not you want to magnetize.
As I was saying earlier, I think that's what's going to make this competition scene really interesting. Just like the little micro decision.
Wow. And you know what?
Oh,
I mean,
so
Killen
close.
has still had ways to follow with War Gear, but Regis also, dying exactly on board. It's like, oh man, what if I just killed off that Annoyatron instead of traded the Divine Shield? So it's like stuff like that's going to end up mattering a lot. But Killen takes the game, and now we'll have game number 3 to decide it all, which is, all according to plan. We want this to go as long as possible. We want the match to be close, not just like a 2-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fact that he goes to every game possible is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? The more the better. We
Yep.
get to see the new cards in action. We get to see Regis, who we don't get to see in competitive formats really ever. I think this is his first event that he's ever done. So for him, the exposure is great. It's awesome to see him get to play. And then we all love Killen. We know it's the year of Killen all day, but this is a very different experience. So we'll see if if that statement holds up here.
Yeah, and I mean, Regis, I think he said that this is like Hearthstone's like a part-time thing. Like he has a job and he does it, on the side. So it's not like something he dedicates himself to day in, day out. Some people, I guess me and Allie at least day to day like dedicate ourselves to doing Hearthstone every day. Is Hearthstone your full-time thing now?
It is.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I wasn't sure because I know you're going to school and you graduate, but I wasn't sure if you were like pursuing other studies.
Yeah, it has been for the last year and a half or so, actually.
Okay, cool.
So
Our lives are
time.
So all our lives are consumed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yours could be too if you buy the pre-order bundle for 130 packs
Nice,
for limited time
plug.
only to get the Mecha Drax's skin.
It was a beautiful transition, Dan.
That's beautiful.
That was really nice.
So I
actually haven't bought the free purchase yet, so I need to go do that.
You have not. And we
Like-
still let her here?
I need to do it right now.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
I lost. What do you want from me? I'm suffering already.
That's right. They're making you cast.
It's karma.
I know. You're here to win the tournament, and now you're here casting a feeling I'm very familiar with.
Every dream hack ever.
It's a familiar feeling, though, right? You feel at home on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Normally, I don't actually get to sit on a couch. So this is cool.
Ah, this is true.
This
Yes,
is nice.
Usually at the podium.
Yeah.
I like this.
So let's go ahead and recap a little bit of what we've seen so far for anybody who's kind of tuning in halfway, because I know a lot of people have been straggling in and out. There's a lot of new mechanics introduced with the Boomsday project, beginning with Magnetic, which is based on your positioning of the minion. If you play to the left of a mech, you will combine its stats together and get its effects for its death rattle. But if you play to the right, you get it as a separate minion. So it introduces some interesting decision points on what you do with your minions.
Absolutely. Yeah, Zilliax seems like it's going to be, I think, pretty strong. I don't know. But yeah, Magnetic is certainly going to be an interesting new mechanic for the game, so I'm excited to see it at work.
Yeah, very excited. Obviously, we've had mechs in the game before, but now we get this whole new interaction with all of these mech cards. So it's really nice to have a completely different style of play that we're going to have moving forward.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And, some of the big heavy hitters will be the legendary spells and the scientists that go with it. Each class gets its own flavor. There's a scientist that heads up the research for their science division for that respective class. For example, we kind of talked about Myra a lot. Myra Rotspring gains death rattles and whatnot, but her unstable element that she's discovered draws the rest of your deck, and I have no clue what that even does. Oh, I mean, I know what it does, but I have no idea what the implications are. Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Versus you have like some huge tempo swings. You have Flark's Bloom's Zuka, you have the Endless Army from Kandor, you have the Boom Ship, and all of these different huge late game swings can also be very exciting to play with. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Hoping we can see some recruit warrior with the boom ship or something like that.
That's right.
That'd be super fun.
It's not nearly as bad to draw the minions you want to recruit from your deck, because you can just summon it from your hand now.
Exactly.
that's definitely something I'm excited to be able to try. We really only scratched the surface with the amount of new cards that there are in the game. It's something like 23 new legendary cards.
Wow.
2 per class.
That sounds
and then,
right, yeah.
let's say 5
4 or
neutrals,
5,
something like
yeah.
that. There's a lot of them in the game and a lot of potential decks that can be built.
That's right. All right, let's go into the last game of this exhibition tournament before we go into our final show match. Killing all day, Regis Kilbin, who is going to be the victor of the first tournament here at the Boomsday Project. We have Druid versus the Mage deck, and I gotta say, man, the Druid deck looked really good based off what we've seen from Killen so far.
He's does he have Floop's Glorious Goop in it?
He does.
Okay.
And he even has the Flobinus. He has Flobinus Floop himself.
Oh, he got both of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Regis seems to have the bomb every single time, turn 1.
Yes. But I feel, as much as people are like, man, Regis just has a curve every single game, it's like I think that's just his decks. His decks are all just
Really
low
low
curve.
curve.
Yeah.
Like, he has a very high chance of drawing his early game minions. Because Goblin Bomb is cool, but unless he's magnetizing it, they're actually just taking up board space. Ooh, I like this from Killen. He's destroying the Goblin Bombs before they have a chance to magnetize.
Shutting it down.
That's smart. You might not
Yes.
want to do that because you don't want to take that damage, but you're going to take the 2 damage no matter what.
And also, you never know if Regis has additional ways to buff stuff, because Raid Leader would actually be pretty good in this spot. Because it summons a 1/1, so you just trade the 3/1 of those.
Yeah, we could have played that.
Wait, none of you guys put Raid Leader in your deck?
No. Nope.
Mistakes were made. Just kidding.
Yeah, I...
No, I think that's really serious.
Yeah, actually, I know you're right.
My decks weren't quite as aggressive as what Regis has, so I think Raid Leader would have fit actually pretty well with what he has. Anything that plays Goblin Bombs, like Ant's Hunter deck, for instance, which had a ton of bombs and not a lot of ways to activate them.
Or just Shaman or Paladin in general.
Yeah.
Just really good stuff.
Return of the Raid Leader.
A triumphant
Ooh. Turn 4 is often the pivotal turn in Hearthstone where it can swing the board. You start to see some of the stronger, impactful minions. And Killen ends up drawing a 4-mana minion, another Coppertail that he can drop here in this spot. Seems good. And Regis keeps having these Goblin Bombs, but he needs to do a little bit more if he wants to win the board here.
Yeah. Seems like the Coppertail is going to be a staple of mech decks, I would think.
Yeah, we sort of had Mechanical Yeti as the staple 4-drop back when mechs were originally introduced.
Pilot Shredder as well. Yeah, this reminds me of like Stranglethorn Tiger and how you want to get that beast on board guaranteed for Hunter back in the day.
Right, Houndmaster or something along those lines.
Yeah,
Kill command. Now, if I'm Killen though, I'm feeling like I don't necessarily want just one giant minion. I think I want to just have this War Gear as a separate body.
Doesn't have too many.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
If you're Killen, you just go face and force your opponent to deal with it.
Regis can deal with it.
Yes, he can.
Or Fireball.
It just takes all his tempo away. He has to invest his Fireball and his one of his minions.
Yeah, it was a bold strategy there.
He does have the Stargazer Luna in hand, though, so maybe that can be a little bit of reload.
You can also train these minions and play Missile Launcher, try to see if he can contest it, but he does damage himself, and then if Killen just ignores the board again, then he just took essentially 19 damage from trying to deal with this 9/9.
We can't leave this guy up.
Agreed. I mean, Stargaze Luna gives you a chance to get bailed out. That's the purpose of this card. It can give you that miracle.
Seems like Regis is just in a good spot here. He's got the setup for when he does draw those magnetic cards.
But the Torrent here is really nice, too. It kind of reminds me of Doppelgangster a little bit. Or like a mini Scenarios, if you will.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see this Muncher get reduced by these treants dying.
Yes, that is the plan for Killen. Fortunately, Killen has not been able to play this Wild Growth, so in the best case scenario, he's not able to get the Mulch Muncher out next turn.
I do think a Treant-style Druid could be reasonably good. Take it like a Treant token build.
Yeah, I personally think that Treant Druid is going to be a thing at some point in time, because Whispering Woods and Treants just work really well together.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be around for a long time.
Soul of the Forest is still such a strong card. It seems like there definitely will be some decks that continue to capitalize on it.
Oh, Innervate being picked up. And that Goblin Bomb's going to bite the dust. So Killen transitioning to a board control approach here.
He has no other choice. It's too much damage.
But the Goblin Bombs are... Now the effect is starting to count up. All these Goblin Bombs that Regis has summoned has dealt like a third of his life.
And he's got Stargazer Luna and another Goblin Bomb in hand. Depending on what he draws, if it's something cheap, he can start cycling through cards.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That worked out well.
Yes, and if he picks up another cheap card off the right...
Worked a little bit better when there was a Millhouse Mana Storm effect.
Admittedly, yes.
Yeah, this is not looking...
Well, now there's a lot of damage on board for Killen. Regis doesn't play that last Goblin Bomb in hand, he just pings face.
I think his rationale is he needs to use Arcane Intellect to get 5
He's just dead. I think he's just dead.
The come from behind victory!
Killen all day is going to take the series. He's going to win it and send Regis home. Congratulations. Killen all day is your Boomsday pre-release champion.
You know, you can't feel too bad about that. He is going to the World Championships this year. He has had the entire year unofficially named after him. It's only appropriate that he's good at everything Hearthstone related.
Sure. I mean, I think, yes, if Killen all day wins the World Championship, I believe Blizzard did promise to name the year of 2019 after you of Killen all day.
Ah, really? That's on paper.
That may or may not be true. That may or may not be true. But I believe that they swore on their lives that would happen.
Interesting.
Good to know. Yeah. Well, GG's to Killen all day and Regis. I'm excited to see Regis compete. We haven't really seen him before, so
Yeah.
It was fun. I think we got to see kind of exactly what people are thinking about. Like they saw these mechs and the swarms with some, very low-hanging fruit synergies like Shaman and Druid. But we also saw some interesting strategies out there like Millhouse Manastorm Warlock and whether or not that's viable. We're not done yet. We have another show match with Ali and Dean coming up here. But before we do that, we're also going to have Killin' All Day come back for an interview. No dramatic entrance. We're done with that.
All right, I do have to award the trophy of the championship to you, Killin' All Day. Congratulations.
Thank
this
you.
is your trophy and prize.
That's right. It is a very exclusive science box where you can mix and match things to your heart's content. You can magnetize beverages.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Magnetized beverages.
I was doing a lot of magnetizing.
We can magnetize right now.
Oh,
Come up
do
with
it.
some crazy experiments. Oh, wow.
I was told that this was okay to do.
You know, mixing
Yeah.
chemicals can sometimes
That
be
sounds-
dangerous. I
yeah,
don't know.
Does that
Oh, Dan.
intimidate you, Kellen?
Yeah. Are you going to do it again? Don't do it again, Dan.
Okay.
This is too much for me. I don't know if I can handle it. Oh, no.
This is like a color test. What does blue and orange make? And Kibber's like, I'm colorblind for
Brown.
it. Shiro, dragons.
Okay.
Throw in the shade of Gibbler. Okay. So how are you feeling, though?
He's not watching the stream. It's
No. How are you feeling, though, after winning?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was super just fun just to play with the decks, and like everyone was magnetizing everything, so it was fun to see like how the buffs worked, how the trades worked, and it was just super cool to get to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enforce ideas that you thought before going into it.
I think it actually like changed my opinion on Magnetic. I didn't think it was gonna be that good,
Really?
and then we all played Magnetic, and it was really good every
insanely
time.
good,
Yeah.
Well, it's the flexibility of it that
Yeah.
also gives you a lot of options. So we're like, does he want to go wide on the board because it's like such a wide board and it seems like he's been trading a little bit? But then you like attached it and went face, and it was a really good spot given the context of what was going on. He doesn't actually. He's a mage deck. What's he really going to do to answer that with just basic cards? He needs to have polymorph or the fireball exactly, and even then, he invests so much of his mana. So it was like a really good spot there on your end.
Yeah. You made the decision to create the big 9/9 instead of keeping them separate. You just thought that was the best strategy?
I just wanted to go face.
You just simple. I like it. Seems good.
All right, Kellen. The floor is yours. What's next for you? Are you going to be competing again now that you qualified for the World Championship? Are you going to be streaming more? I saw that you were doing some of that.
Yeah, I've been streaming more. I've been trying to do like night streams, day streams, two times a day. So
Wow.
twitch.tv/killinalldayhs. Catch me there.
That's right.
Are
Are you more of a competitive streamer, or are you just playing the fun decks? Or are you kind of in between like Ali here?
I'd say like in between, but like I mostly competitive, but I play Quest Rogue, and the deck's not good. But like that's why I play a lot. So.
But you're good
yeah.
with it, though. So.
Yeah. So it makes up for
Sure.
it.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kellen. Congratulations on the win. Enjoy your science box. Excuse me. And we'll see you at Boomsday. Hopefully, continue to destroy all the field in America. I heard it's something to do with your year. In the meantime, we have another